Hello, welcome to the Bronze Age Monsters bonus show. This is a show we do each and every week for our loyal patrons. We talk about a devil movie. We talk about shit going on in our lives. This week, we are going to be talking about, is this 1972? Yeah. All the Colors of the Dark, a giallo film that we watched on our watch along, which we do every week on our Discord. If you're watching this bonus episode and you're not on the Discord, that's weird. Like you really, if you're doing this, you got to jump on the Discord and do the watch alongs. It's so much fun. And in this particular instance, it was great. It's a lifesaver. It was awesome. Made the experience much more enjoyable.
Yeah, well, I think we had a good time. I think before we even jump into this, let's just talk about our relationships with giallo. We've mentioned it here and there throughout the run of the show, but like, where does it as a giallo? First of all, folks, is a loose nomenclature that just kind of much like folk horror, right? There is no you don't have to sign up to get a folk horror stamp on something. It's just that things have certain properties and they can loosely be collected under a moniker or under an umbrella. But giallo is a pretty popular one. Started in the early 60s, late 50s, I would say. Became more and more popular as like Bava and folks like that did some of those. And I would say in the late 60s, early 70s is when they really spiked in popularity and went through probably 10 years in the early 80s. And if you haven't seen a giallo film, their translated name or even their transliterated names are often very colorful and strange. So Sergio Martino film, the same director, Your Vice is a Locked Room and Only I Have the Key. That's a name.
They're long. They're historically long.
A lot of times there's animals in the names, like Four Flies on Gray Velvet, Don't Torture a Baby Duckling, scorpions come up a lot, and lizards come up a lot. If you're wondering, are these movies about scorpions and lizards? No, they're not. They're often just thrillers. A lot of times they are psychological thrillers. A lot of times they are erotic thrillers. They often feature a cliche of a killer with black gloved hands who, like, you always see through their POV. Like if that's not so yeah, that being said, now that we've kind of loosely defined it, I don't know. I've never connected with them in a large way. Like I tend to like the music more, and I don't even love the music. Certain soundtracks I really dig. I think one of the most famous ones is Profondo Rosso, Deep Red. I think Goblin did the music. It's a pretty famous one, and one I would recommend people check out, like a Training Wheels kind of, if it's like if you got to see one giallo. So giallo, by the way, is the Italian word for yellow, and it's essentially alluding to the source of a lot of these stories, which were pulp novels, and they used cheap pulp paper, which would yellow quickly, and so yeah. Which I was like, that's like my favorite part of giallos is like this, where the word came from.
The etymology of it is
etymology. Thank you.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I mean, I've known about it. I've seen a few of them. I've never connected with it at all. I don't know why. Like, because I have tons of people I know and respect and freaking love giallo shit. And it's just nothing. It isn't anything I've ever been able to wrap my head around. It's not something that I would seek out and watch. And so I don't have much of a relationship with it either. I do dig the music, but I don't know. It's I could take it or leave it, honestly. Yeah,
I'm kind of with you. And a lot of these things are things that you've probably seen. Actually, now that I'm looking more at them, like Suspiria is considered giallo.
I think Suspiria is probably the most famous giallo, I would think.
Yeah. The Bird with the Crystal Plumage is another very famous one. I think one of the more highly regarded ones. Blood and Black Lace, I think that's an early Bava one. Like I said, Don't Torture a Duckling. Cat o' Nine Tails. They can get pretty sleazy. Like there's one called the New York Ripper that is, I'm told, virtually unwatchable. It's so sleazy. So yeah, they run the gamut. There is no real whatever. I mean, even the Eyes of Laura Mars, which is, Faye Dunaway and Tommy Lee Jones, is considered a giallo because I think the director was Italian. So So that being said, we watched All the Colors of the Dark because it had supernatural, occult, Sabbath, occult/cult themes in it. So we wanted to check it out, and we watched it, and it was a movie.
Yeah, it was a movie it was pictures that moved. And there were some decent shots and colors, and the music was okay. But aside from that, it was just a kind of an unwatchable train wreck in a lot of ways. I don't know why. It was one of those, we've had a couple of these, especially doing the Discord watch-alongs. And yeah, sometimes I almost weirdly check out in a way to where I'm just like, I don't understand what this movie is doing. I don't like it. I'm just going to check out and listen to what everyone else on the watch along is saying about it and pay more attention to that than the actual film. I don't know. This was a tough one for me. I was having a real hard time coming up with anything to really even say about it, good or bad.
I think we should talk about the cast a little bit. So the star is gorgeous. If that matters to you. She's a French-Italian actress named Edvig Fenech.
Yeah.
Fenech. We both immediately locked in the fact that she reminded us of the director and star of The Love Witch, a recent indie film that's like a throwback to actually a lot of this filmmaking era.
Oh yeah.
But she was lovely. I got to tell you though, Jacob, I mentioned to you right before we started recording that I did try and watch this today, like on my lunch, I'll just try and hit some plot points, and kind of checked out about 30 minutes in. I was barely paying attention in the first place. I did go to the Wikipedia page and read the plot, and I did not see this movie.
Yeah,
you want to hear what the plot is?
Yeah, no, I read it too. Please read it.
So yeah, we don't need to belabor this, but they were sisters. Oh, they were, it was just.
I didn't get any of the plot.
There was a mother that was murdered by that guy with the bright blue eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, and yeah. So, and I don't want to. This makes me feel like I'm coming off like a dick who doesn't like non-straightforward films, which just anything but is. There's moments in here where it's like Alejandro Jodorowsky, or this is I like, the opening scene was super surreal and upsetting in a nightmarish way. So I was we were making it. David Lynch is one of our shared favorite artists of all mediums and times. I like weird stuff, but for me, a lot of the giallo stuff is just kind of is it a dream? Is there every scene when you wake up and it's did the last thing happen or not? When that just becomes the mode of the storytelling, I check out too. Halfway through, it's it doesn't matter. There are no stakes because everything feels like a dream.
Well, it was almost comical in this one. I don't even know if that's a prerequisite for giallos, but this one, literally, it could have just been 15 dream sequences just stitched together, and so no, nothing mattered. Nothing mattered at all. It was funny though. I mean, yeah, we were laughing a lot about how just the entire film is just this woman waking up in different weird scenarios, and then we're like, okay, I guess it's another dream. None of this fucking matters. And yeah, that's what this felt like. Yeah,
I guess the only thing you need to know framing wise is that this character. We didn't realize this at the time, but her mom was killed, and she's still in contact with her sister. But the main thing we picked up on was that she had been in a car accident and had a miscarriage, and she and her husband had lost their child, and she was in therapy to deal with the grief, and her husband was not very supportive, and she meets a strange, spooky lady in her apartment building who nudges her towards this kind of unorthodox way of dealing with grief, which is to attend an occult Sabbath. And that's all I know or care about, because that's the rest of it. Fill in the blanks, just a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, it was just a bunch of stuff. So yeah, this was definitely we'll skip to the end. It's definitely a claw down for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go claw down. I feel bad, man, because I liked Bruno Nicolai's soundtrack. He's one of my favorite
That's
Italian genre film composers. So I downloaded it immediately after we watched it. I'm happy to give it to you if you want. It has moments where it kind of sounds like Lalo Schifrin or something like that. Like, you know, some like funky, cool guitar stuff and like weird jazz drums with like a a tough like fuzz guitar like lead, or it's like that shit just gives me goosebumps. I just eat that shit up. And then there's like some cool stuff with like flutes and just more orchestral things. But yeah, I didn't connect with this, and it doesn't matter how naked the star was or how pretty she was. If your star's naked like 40% of the time and really attractive, and I'm still not caring, something's not right.
Yeah, something is not right.
So I don't know. It has a fan base. I'm not gonna lie. I've looked around online. It has like all giallo does, but like this one is a particularly considered a beloved occult one. Like, it's not just a masked killer stalking a woman. There's cult rituals. And I will say, TW or CW or whatever, like there's a sacrifice scene in the Sabbath that we all kind of like, ooh, like, you know, heads up. We don't like to see our little mammal friends hurt, but you know, obviously it's not real, but still a narrative sin.
Yep. Because
we all realized watching together that we're happy to see humans slaughtered because humans are shit, but animals, leave them alone, man.
Yeah.
They didn't do anything. They're just living their best life.
That's what they're trying to do. Yeah, no, I was, I don't know. I have an antidote though. Do you?
I do. Why don't you go first?
Well, I'm going to go non-traditional.
Oh God, here we go.
I didn't choose a movie. I chose
I like this.
The two Mort Garson records that are occult based. I've talked about Mort Garson, I think, a couple times on the show. Most famous for Plantasia. Mm-hmm. But this one here is his Black Mass Lucifer record, which is so good. Then the other one is his Unexplained, The Occult. It's electronic musical impressions of the occult.
So I've never heard that one, but I know the other one well.
Yeah, I sent you this one. And yeah, it's so good. I sent you files of all these, right? When I got them, just so you could have them. I'm sure you've heard that one.
You sent me Plantasia, and I had the Lucifer one because when I was in a downloading orgy of Halloween audio years ago. But I don't know if I got that electronic impressions one you were just talking about, the occult themed one.
It's awesome. Yeah, all of his stuff is awesome. But yeah, he went through, you know, he did dark shit, which is kind of awesome. So yeah, it's very, I don't know, I'd almost call it fairly innocent electronic music in a lot of the ways. But yeah, I don't know. Both of those records, I think that you can stream them anywhere, really. I think they're pretty easy. And but who put these out? I think the
reissue.
The reissue is by the reissues are by Sacred Bones, which is a great label.
You've told me about them.
Yeah, Sacred Bones is really, really cool. I like they put out David Lynch. They put out the I can't remember his name now, but that young actor from Twin Peaks, his Insane Records.
Yeah.
Fuck.
He has three names.
He does have three names. Caleb Landry Jones.
Landry Jones. Wow. Good recall.
That was tough. But yeah, I highly recommend both of his records. His first one's amazing. He put out a double volume one recently called Gadzooks. He's an insanely talented and bizarre man.
I need to hear that one. So, I love that first one.
First one's so good.
That's a cool antidote. Look at you being all thoughtful.
Tried.
So my antidote, I was talking about it during the stream. I gotta remember the name of it again. It's Kill Baby Kill.
Yes.
And that's the American name. So a lot of the American names for imports often had kind of lurid titles because you're trying to get somebody to go get in their car with their girlfriend and go to the drive-in or go to a grindhouse. So you wanted to sound lurid, but also, Psycho was essentially the first slasher film, really. I mean, so I think a lot of people were just trying to make things that sounded like they were Psycho or Psycho adjacent. This is not that at all. Its actual Italian title translates to Operation Fear. And it is written by Mario Bava and directed. It's from 1966. It's a gothic horror film. It does make sense. And it's a beautiful film about, I'm not going to talk too much about the plot. It's a gothic horror film, and it's about a woman in a small village, and it's early Bava. So he's doing tons of like visual stuff. He's playing around. This is 2 years before he did Danger Diabolic. So like he's just having fun with like pop art, kind of like taking the pop art he's seeing from like Warhol and comics and all that type of stuff, and like trying to crush it down, like like EC Comics and whatever else, into like a strange film. So like it's beautifully shot. It's a cool story, and great art direction. So Kill Baby Kill you can watch on almost anything. So that's my antidote.
Nice.
God bless Mario Bava. I'm a big fan of him.
Yeah, me too, even though I haven't seen that one. So I'm going to watch that this week.
Cool. You guys will dig it. It's good.
Yeah. So for this week's die roll, I know it looks a little weird, like I was trying to fix it, but really what happened is that the die hit the thing that I have my laptop on when we record, which is a cassette deck. It hit that. I went to grab it and knocked it across the table almost, even though it stayed on the same number, which you can see in this video. It stays on 24.
So I think if nothing else, that proves that this is the next choice.
This is the next choice. It proves that the Dark Lord needed it to be 24, and it was 24. So what's that give us?
So 24 is The Devil's Nightmare. It's from 1971. It is an Italo-Belgian co-production.
Wow.
It was shot in French, and it stars Erica Blanc, who a lot of people at the time thought was the off-brand Raquel Welch, maybe the best way to say it. Just kind of like, you can't get Raquel Welch. What about Erica Blanc? This original title was La Plus Longue Nuit du Diable, which is the Long Night of the Devil. But in Italian, it was La Terrificante Notte del Demonio, the terrifying night of the demon or devil. So this one has like that movie Seven, kind of that whole kind of theme of these seven travelers or break down or something like that, and stop at this castle, this Gothic castle, and they're all guilty of one of these seven deadly sins, have a themed comeuppance, and the devil is involved, and that's all I know. I haven't seen it. I recognized the art once I saw the poster. I was like, oh, I've been wanting to see this for a long time. So I'm excited about that one. We're going to watch that on Saturday. We typically watch them on Sunday evenings, but it's Mother's Day this time. So we want to free people up to do dinner for moms or the moms and their wives or whatever. So we're going to watch this on Saturday. And I am going to break out. I mowed the backyard. I hung some new lights up. I'm going to watch this out in the backyard. It's supposed to be 90 degrees Saturday.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah. So that's my first experience watching this in the backyard, maybe with my lovely wife, Renee. And maybe get to meet Callie. I'm sure she'll want to be out there with us.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I'm excited to watch this Saturday night at 7:30. And I'm hoping you folks join us. There's folks who, are members of the pack and whatever that don't go to Discord. And that's a personal choice that you make, and I respect it. But I don't respect the choice that you've made.
No, I think you're wrong.
You should join us there, man. It's fun. And even though there's no Brad.
It's still a lot of fun. I mean, I know Brad kind of jumped off the Discord because he's busy and he's got stuff to do. But I think, Brad, you need to come on a watch along at least once.
Yeah, Brad.
We'd love to everyone would love to have you there. I would love your real-time opinions on some of these ridiculous devil movies we're watching. So Gauntlet Throne.
And yes, face slapped, gauntlet thrown, all those things. Love you, Brad.
Satisfaction demanded.
Join us for a watch along. Cool. I'm excited for that. And, we're getting to a weird place here with these devil movies.
We are.
No, I mean, what's remaining. I went to Double Jeopardy the last time I rolled.
I know you did.
So you guys, if we roll 3 movies we've already watched, we go into the sub basement. and that's where you roll a 6-sided die, and a lot of these are 80s satanic, like Christian produced scare films. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I do want to see them, but like, especially after all the Colors of the Dark, I would kill to watch some dude in a church on a shitty fucking, camcorder, on a tripod talking about the devil and rock and roll music and D&D cartoons and gummy bears. But yeah, well, I'm sure we're gonna hit it.
Yeah, we'll hit it. We definitely will. Maybe multiple times.
Yeah, that's what I'm scared about. But I'm banking on seeing Race with the Devil.
We will. It'll happen.
I really want to see that, and I want to see Messiah of Evil again. I've only seen that once. The other name for it is, I think, Dead People, and that's a pretty highly regarded movie too. It's very fucking weird, very kind of Lovecraftian horror, like Devil Movie meets The Fog or something like that. It's cool.
I like that.
So I want to see that. So I have some stuff I really want to see, especially with you guys. And most of these are new to me, so hope we get there. But let's talk about non-satanic stuff, or at least not explicitly.
Yes.
Because I was fascinated by this thread that you and I had going on via chat, this text this week.
Yeah. So, like I've said on this show before, I got a kind of a newer kind of promotion at the library, and now I'm head of teen services, getting programs for the teens, all this other stuff. And there was, this is my second week at the new position, and there was this crazy shit that went down at the library. There were these 2 book clubs that the library had done. One was called the Social Justice Book Club. I live in a very red Republican small town. And one of the books that the Social Book Club, Justice Book Club, was going to read was called, it was a book called No More Police. It was a kind of talking about the abolition of police and some of the ex-police, the ex-county sheriff, who is now like a commissioner, and a couple of the other Republican commissioners in this town, they didn't like that. And so they just immediately asked the library director, my boss, Natalie Johnston, to shut down the clubs, and just said, well, no more book clubs, because you guys are going to be reading, shit that we don't like, that's political. So no.
Don't you love their small government stance? And they're
right.
keep your government out of my life and no overreach. God damn, stop meddling in my affairs. Well, you can't have that book club. I don't agree with that book.
Yeah.
Did you read it? I bet you didn't read it. Cracker.
Well, this is the weird thing. Like, okay, so the book clubs have moderators. So someone from the library is there just to kind of be in the room. They had to do that because I think it was in 2017 here, the library was kind of pressured with like, oh, well, you're just going to let anyone come in and use this public space to have a book club. Well, there could be offensive shit there. So you need someone from the library to be in the room to make sure offensive shit doesn't happen.
What prompted that? Like, was there an event that made that actually happen, or was that speculation?
That was speculation. So it was a liability thing. They were just like, oh, I don't know. It was something stupid and so fucking stupid. And it was done to appease the Republican lawmakers here in town. So we thought that was going to be fine. But now in 2023, they're like, wait, someone from the library is in the same room as these book clubs? Like, well, that's not going to work. You're like, you told us to do that, fuckers. And so, yeah, now the
municipal thing is politicized in their view by being in the room.
Yep, by being in the room.
Say, well, you can't do that. That's public dollars.
Yeah, it's a library endorsing a book that says no more police. That week during the Social Justice Book Club, one person showed up. One person showed up, and then there was the guy who was the library moderator, who was amazing. And so that was what the whole hullabaloo was about. But basically what happened is that, the county said no more book clubs because it's all this liberal shit. And we don't, they're not saying that outright, but they are. And so there was another book club that was immediately canceled as well. It's called Great Decisions. It was, it runs for like 6 or 8 weeks, I think, every year. It's all about foreign policy. So it is literally about politics, but it's been running for 20 years. It is mostly attended by little old ladies, and that has also been dissolved.
So what was the rationale behind that one? Little old ladies being informed about world
Foreign
news
policy.
and events somehow is dangerous, or are they maybe wielding too much power behind the scenes and influencing world policy?
Yeah, right. I mean, the cabal of Klamath Falls grandmas who like to, I don't know. It was it's so fucking stupid. And so there was a yesterday when we're recording this, there was a kind of like an emergency like town hall almost meeting in the library, and the commissioner, the awful commissioner, who's I can't remember, something Minty
Sounds like a song by The Fall.
Yeah, and she is so terrible. And she shows up, and all these angry people show up. Every single person that showed up was there to protest the dissolving of these book clubs. Not one person came from the pro cop side. And we were just like, it's so easy to post a bunch on Facebook, but you're not going to show your fucking face in real life. And so this commissioner gets up and she's like, oh, I just hope we can have a dialogue. I made brownies for everybody. And then she just got the fucking riot act read to her for an hour. All these people, a judge showed up, like a local ex-judge showed up and just read the First Amendment. There's this like wild applause and shit. It was so great. I was at the youth desk, so I could see them. I couldn't hear a ton of stuff, but I also could watch on the cameras, and it was great. It was almost nice watching on the cameras without any audio, because you just see people kind of pointing their finger at the commissioner, and then everyone like, yay! And, it was fucking awesome.
It reduced my faith in humanity, the fact that people mobilize to act out, right? Like,
in a small town, in a small
conservative town. Like I've been having this sucking feeling of dread the last week, because I realized too late that my daughter's school district's board, shit they're running for, is completely being planned by outside people. To do that weird shit. So like normally a school board, you have to fucking drag people there to volunteer for it, to sign up for it, to run for it, whatever. This time, when I fucking turn on YouTube on my house on Roku, there's ads that are fucking polished like normal election ads saying, I'm so-and-so, I'm running for school board for North Clackamas, and I support this ad. That's how much money they've put into this. They're taking over the entire school board, and they're going to ban all this shit. Everything's grooming. Everything is, catching the rye, is corrupting the youth, blah, blah. And by the time I realize this, it's too late for me to fucking run. Like, they've already planned this shit in the dark, like, over the last year, and submitted all the paperwork, and then all ran en masse. And so there's like 3 people setting up to them like, hi, I've been doing this job for 20 years. No one's ever been raped in our schools. No one's ever had their genitals cut off in our schools. This is a thing that's happening in the news. It's not happening. Please just vote for me, and I'll just keep taking care of your kids. But all of the other ads are super slick and like, we need to get back to common sense, blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh my God, I'm so fucking frustrated. Like, I just want to check out, but I know that's how they win, right? I mean, it's just like,
it is how they win. And
I need to scrub my Twitter account and get rid of every time I've harangued Josh Hawley, Matt Gaetz, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert. So if I can make that disappear, I could actually run. I don't think I can run the way I am now. I'm pretty dirty.
No, I don't think you can either. Yeah. Not when you got big glasses money behind you funding.
I guess
you.
I could support somebody clean and do a video for them. I am a video producer. Something. I need to do something. Like I turned on YouTube one time and saw that North Clack was streaming a school board meeting, and I was like, they were still having COVID measures for a while, right? It's like a year ago. And there was that morbid curiosity. I was like, I'll see what they're talking about. And it was a bunch of fucking parents waddling up to the mic like, you need to stop grooming our kids. Stop making them read the trans. Don't be the trans. Like, Jesus, you just rattling off words that you saw. It's like a refrigerator magnet poem of like fucking grievances and fear that you got from fucking Tucker Carlson. That's all this is.
That's all it is.
You don't even know what you're saying. If I asked you, no, explain to me, what is socialism? No, don't just call me a socialist. What is it as a system? What is Marxism, motherfucker? You'd fucking define it. I'll let you run my daughter's school.
Yeah, exactly. Right now.
Jesus Christ. I'm so fucking done.
Yeah, but this was something that was really cool to witness because aside from
heartening.
Aside from all the people that showed up, and you can watch the video. I mean, a lot of people for our tiny town showed up, and there were lots of overflow and stuff. We had to, you can probably see on the video like me and my coworker Gloria like bringing in more chairs as the video was going. I'm like, oh shit, I have to watch this video. I'm probably in it, and yeah, it was really, really cool, and it was great. And there was a lot of people that I knew from working in circulation. The liberal old ladies in this town are amazing. They don't give a fuck. Yeah. They don't hide it at all.
I love liberal
old ladies. It's great. Oh my God. And it was very moving. Like when I was texting you, I was just like, I'm kind of getting choked up here because it was so amazing to have all these people come out. Oh, and just that they ran that commissioner out of the room. It was amazing. She left in a huff and took her brownies and no one ate one. Yeah. And it was just fucking unreal cool. And then, as everyone left, like everyone's hugging each other. All these people are walking by the youth desk and being like, thank you for what you do. I'm just like, I'm getting thanked for my service by these like little old
Mr. Smith goes to Washington or something.
It really was. I was just like, you're welcome. It was so awesome. And I guarantee you, my friend, they're coming after me next. What? Like youth shit. Like all the stuff.
Oh, the youth.
Yeah, the YP
groomer.
Because I am head groomer now because we have fucking Heartstoppers, the graphic novel in the YP room. Like Jesus, yeah, it's I don't know. That's what we were all worried. And this town hall happened. I don't know if the book clubs are going to be restored. Probably not. There's one more meeting on May 17th, which I think you can stream. That hopefully the library board might reverse the decision, but I don't think they're going to be able to. I think the commissioners are holding their ground. One of them's an ex-sheriff. The other one is just this Republican bitch. Like they don't have to reinstate them. So they're probably not going to.
What is the stick that they can withhold funding or something? Like I don't understand
how they can do. They just they told our director, they told my big boss Natalie, they're just like, get rid of these book clubs.
So what if the moderator guy chose to do it on his own time, the people who did it chose to show up at the it was clandestine, like, no, we're not doing that book club, we just all happen to be here at the same time talking about the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I mean, I guess because it's advertised, it's on our library schedule. Like it's a monthly thing that anyone
so it's public
can come
funding.
To. So yep, public funding for I don't know. It's fucking ridiculous. And I mean, I don't know if anything's going to change because of all the people coming and protesting, but there was a nice article about it today in the news.
That's
so
cool.
I liked that. But who knows? But the thing that was heartening and the thing that choked me up was that, people in a small town, and this is a very conservative town, and just that they showed up and they spoke their minds and they were like, fuck you, this is censorship, this is bullshit. And they were all, obviously they were very intelligent people. There's an ex-judge, there's, teachers and educators and doctors and people from the hospital and just people that came out and they're just like, no, this is stupid. This is censorship. This is right-wing bullshit. And that's pretty cool.
No, I think it's very cool. I just hope you can change Howell Tinkerbell's mind.
Yeah. Tinkerbell. Yeah.
No, this book club is called Hooray for America.
Yeah.
It's about America and its greatness.
Yeah, you're right. That's the plan we need to enact. But no, it was cool. I did, I mean, I've worked at the library for a while now, but I just moved to this new position and then all this shit immediately goes down. Yeah. And like I say, who knows? I'm a shit stirrer, I guess. Mm-hmm. No, we just hope that this isn't setting a precedent because
it is.
It is, and that's the bummer thing. And I just think that people are just going to be like, "Oh, we can bully the library." Like, "Oh, okay, cool."
Yeah, no. The thing is, they're losing on policy. They're losing, like just demographically. Their days are numbered as a party. The GOP, sorry, the Grand Old Party, and all the conservative values, all that stuff, are losing popularity. They've already fallen back to, well, what if we can just not let brown people vote? Wouldn't that help us? Blah blah. Like, okay, well, what if we say that it was rigged? What if they just keep falling back to these things? And the final fallback is do it at grassroots. Ruin America one town at a time, one school at a time, one library at a time.
Well, I guarantee you, like the stuff in bigger cities, like where you live, like in Clackamas, like this is planned and funded at a national level.
It is. I've read quite a bit about these groups that do this. It's insidious, completely outside. They're not even community based. Have nothing to do with this community or its people. These are shit. This shit comes in from like Oklahoma and shit. It's fucking gross.
Yeah, and they're just like, hey, who's the biggest QAnon person in this room? Oh, you're going to be the next member of the school board. Here's a bunch of money. We will produce ads for you. You can be as dumb as you want. You'll still get elected.
Yep. Here's a brownie recipe.
Yep.
God bless you.
God, yeah, it sucks, but I saw a little bit of goodness this week, and I saw it mobilized, and it was beautiful. It was as grassroots as you get. It wasn't a ton of people, but it was a ton of people for this town, and it was a big deal.
And honestly, if one person showed up with a sign or something, I mean that could sway my opinion on humanity that day. Like, just having one voice being like, no, this is wrong.
Yeah.
No, the fact that it was a dozens of people taking time out of their busy, fucked up day to come in and stand up for something they believe in, that's very heartening.
It was pretty cool, and I got to watch it in real time, and that was I'm getting hugs from little old ladies as they're leaving, and just they're just saying how much they love the library and they love everyone that works here, and we're doing good work. And I'm just like, you know what, we are. It did. It choked me up. It totally did.
No, that's cool. I can't wait till you do that book club for reading Ranma 1/2, where gender bending manga. That's gonna go swimmingly.
Oh man, yeah. This is like I was telling you, one of my new duties. We have this teen subscription box thing where teens can sign up and they can get a box with we do different themes. The theme that was chosen, this is like castles, courts, and kingdoms, and so you get like fantasy stuff and dragon stuff, and people, we send them a form and they're like, oh, I want this, I don't want this, and yeah, so it's. There was a significant number that in the do not want, they were just like, no LGBTQ stuff, no grooming material. One of them said.
So they wrote that down, I hope.
Yeah, that was literally in there. And it was one for like a 12-year-old boy. And so I'm just like, oh, this is some fucked up parent filling this out. Like, this is fucked up. So, yeah.
We'll wrap this up, but I don't even want to get started on the fact that grooming, it's a very specific meaning, and it's really fucking serious. And the fact that it's been appropriated and is thrown around, and everyone, it's literally like boomer. Like you just call somebody it when you don't like them now, or when they're left of you. Yep. And grooming is a very serious part of assault and abuse, and the fact that it's being lightly made use of really pisses me off. For a myriad of personal reasons, but it's fucking rough, man. Yeah. I applaud you in your service too, sir.
Thank you. It's low paying, decent benefits, and wow, I know, thrown into the fucking lion's den down here. So we'll see.
Poison brownies.
Poison brownies.
Don't eat those brownies, man.
Yeah, they didn't. I honestly think she was most offended. I watched her kind of just like run out of there almost. And she's a spray tanned, high heeled, just awful woman who Yeah, and she exited out of there with those brownies, and that was the biggest insult, I think, is that no one touched them.
Yeah, I love that you said that. When you said that, I was like, I bet that pissed her off.
That pissed her off more than anything.
Little crackers, I made these last night.
Oh, it was awesome. So glad this isn't a public feed.
Oh. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well,
Dropping names.
did we drop names? Mario Bava. I will say that to anybody.
Hey, that's okay. This is just for our pack members. Don't fucking narc me out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want me to bleep anybody? I will.
No, it's fine.
Okay. Well, if you change your mind after you sleep and whatever.
I think I did say the commissioner's name, but obviously anyone's going to know if they know where I live and
that's a
watch
Google
the
search.
feed. Yeah, that's a Google search away. So don't narc me out, guys.
Okay.
This is just for pack members.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a club.
This is a club.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing that. I liked hearing the full skinny on it.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, yeah, you can look it up, and the video is online too.
And so
it's easy to find.
When you're bringing the chairs in, are you wearing assless chaps or were you just wearing like pants?
Yeah. Well, as someone that works at the youth desk as a groomer, assless chaps are required.
Sure.
Yeah.
And your handlebar mustache.
Yeah. Shit. Now that I realize that, I'm like, oh fuck, I got to watch that video. Like, I hope I look good. Hope they got my good side.
Yeah, shoot me a link to it. I want to watch it now.
I will.
Okay. I want to make some, like Homer and the Gummy, like was it hard copy or whatever, like just like zooming in on you and like it's all blurry and
say that I sleep in a hyperbaric chamber for sexual powers.
Fuck you, Reverend.
Yeah.
All right. Get us out of here.
All right.
Leave your cat alone.
Oh, damn it. All right.
She doesn't want to.
She always wants to.
All right,
Look at her. Look,
right,
she just come here.
One of these times she's gonna squirt on you or shit or something,
She will.
fart.
Oh, until we meet again. Hail Satan.
Hail Satan.
Oh, I love you. Oh, she didn't make a noise. I squeezed her and everything.
She's too sleepy.
She is really sleepy. It's like, what's going on?
Why is this happening?
Why is this happening?
Put your shoes on. We're at grandma's.